All right, so since we're not having the face-to-face class, the big thing that we're really gonna miss is the discussion. And I am big on discussion. Like, that is what our classes are about. I am not a big fan of the lectures, though I am going to be using some of these YouTube videos to maybe do a few of those just so that we stay on top of material. And so you can actually see some of my insights into what we're reading in class. But what I really hope will help us keep that interactive dynamic, still feel like we're connected to each other, is going to be through using Slack. Now, I know this is not a platform that's on Blackboard, and to be honest, I love Blackboard for a lot of things, but feeling interactive with students and feeling you can interact with each other without me, Blackboard is not always great for that. I know when I was a student, when my husband was a student, we did Blackboard discussion boards. It was sort of like, okay, here's my post, 5 minutes, done. I'm not really reading what everyone else is doing. I know that was my failing, and I think that you're probably in the same boat. So how do we actually talk to each other? And so Slack is an app you can download onto your phone. It is also a website, so you can launch it in an internet browser from a tablet or laptop or computer. I like it a little better on my phone, just because it's easier for me to bounce back and forth between my English 200 and my English 300, because you have separate workspaces, which are labeled exactly as you might imagine. English 200 Spring 2020 and English 300 Spring 2020. Those are your workplace names, so that you can find us on Slack through the website or the app. I also have direct links that are good for a month since I posted them, for you to just follow and sign up and join the workspace and the thread discussions that we're in, our channels essentially, where we'll have discussion. It's a chat function. It's great. I've used Slack before. I like it. I think it's going to be more common in the workplace, so introducing you to it now, I also think is just going to be helpful for you in the long run. I know it can seem a little intimidating signing up for another platform or another medium, but it's really low maintenance, and just make sure you remember your username or email and your password, and you can log in anytime through Slack, through the website or your app leaves you logged in, so you don't even have to remember it. But that's where I do want to do some scheduled synchronous stuff. But rather than just a small limited meeting time for each individual class, when we do Slack discussions, I'm going to have long hours, so usually 3 to 4 is probably what I'm going to do, where that way you can come in and out when it's convenient to you, and your internet access, or your work schedule, or just your family schedule. So that you can come in and comment when it's convenient, but also still be able to have a nice record of what everyone said, that I feel like is a little bit better in terms of readability than a discussion board, because you can only just see all of the comments, and the record stays there. And yeah, so we do have one scheduled next week coming up, week of March 23rd to 27th, one for my English 300 and one for my English 200 on Wednesday and Thursday respectively. And they're 3-hour windows, and I do want to see everyone comment at some point. Again, I'm going to try and be really flexible with those hours and when you comment, but if you are going to miss that face-to-face interaction, that conversation that's been such a dynamic and really fun part of our class, sign up for Slack. Please do that ASAP. I know there's been a slow trickle in of students, but I really would like to see more of your names showing up well ahead of time for the meeting. And to incentivize some of you, particularly my English 200, we're supposed to be watching Ever After and having discussion about it, the movie. I am going to, under our random channel, not our class discussion channel, live comments on the movie as I watch it on Sunday night. That's my plan, is for Sunday night, is I'm going to watch Ever After, and in the channel of random, I'm going to live comment all of my little thoughts and quips and observations about the movie, which you have either watched or should watch by Wednesday before our discussion on Thursday. And I'm hoping to do some other elements like that, some only for our English 300. I just haven't come up with an idea yet, but I'm working on it. So I think Slack is going to be great. We can do these channels where we all talk to each other, but it also has a direct message function, so you can communicate with your groups or create your own group forums, or choose a platform amongst your groups of what you want to use to communicate and do some exercises, because again, I want to keep the groups going in my 200 and I want to make them a bigger feature in my 300 because I find them really useful, and I think that type of communication will be much more reasonable moving forward in the online settings. So again, if you have questions about Slack, you want me to walk you through it, I'm happy to do so. Just send me an email, schedule a meeting online via previous video and so forth, and I'll do what I can. All right. Talk to you soon.